I'm going to discuss Medicare Part D, so stay tuned. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of MedSup Savings. I hope you'll find the information in this video very helpful and presented in an easy to understand format. Turning Medicare eligible is actually a very good thing. You'll likely find Medicare to be a much better alternative for your health insurance needs than what you may have had previously. But there are some choices. So I've created a Medicare Resource Center where I have a complete video library on everything Medicare. You'll also find all the necessary links and the guides and the forms that go along with them. So please, after this video, take just a few minutes to explore our Resource Center. You'll likely find everything that you need for Medicare. You can also get an immediate quote for your Medicare supplement insurance. Just fill out your basic information and it will provide the rates for the plans that are available in your area. It would also be a really good idea to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll always have access to my videos and you'll get updates as they come along. So again, I hope you find this information very helpful, and please let me know if I can help.
Okay, so let's now talk about Medicare Part D prescription drugs. And I'm going to start this video off with an apology. And I apologize that Part D is ridiculously complicated. And I don't know why they made it so complicated, but they certainly made it difficult for you to understand how much you would be paying for prescription drugs. I can tell you, I've been in the insurance industry for 20 years, and it's complicated to me. So it must be complicated to anybody that really is looking at it for the first time. But we're going to try and make it as simple as we can. I'm going to give you a pretty good overview on how it works. And just to let you know, I do not sell Medicare Part D, mainly because it's so complicated, but it is not a standardized plan. Like the rest of Medicare supplements, Plan F and Plan G, they are standardized, which means they're the same from company to company. Medicare Part D is not. Each company has different rules and benefits. So you have to make sure, especially if you currently take prescription drugs, that the plan you join, if you choose to join, and I don't always recommend that people join Part D, but if you do, that the drugs that you need are part of that plan. And really, the easiest way to figure it out for the best option is to contact Medicare. And you can call them right at 1-800-MEDICARE. And what they will do is they will take your current medications, plug them into the system, and find the plans that cover those drugs. So it's just a much easier way for you to be comfortable that you're going to go into the right plan. But I'm going to give you an overview on exactly how it works. And I've got a couple different illustrations, and you can find these illustrations right on my website. So just go to medsupsavings.com. You go right to the Resource Center. It'll drop down, and these will be located in the guides and the forms. So when you get to the guides and the forms, you can see right here is the illustration that I am going to show you right now, and then there's another one over here, and I'll be adding to it continuously. So make sure you go in, you can search for what you're looking for, makes it easy to find stuff, and hopefully it'll make things a little bit easier for you. So we're going to take a look at this pie chart. And this is something that I put together that just gives a kind of a broad overview of Medicare Part D. So keep in mind, this entire cycle starts every single January 1st. So it runs on a calendar year from January to January. So once you get through December, it's going to reset and start again, which might be good in some circumstances and might not be good in other circumstances. So when you look at it, it's really broken down into 4 quadrants. So the first quadrant is the deductible. So plans have different deductibles. Some have 0 deductible, but they will usually range along with premium. So the higher the premium, likely the lower the deductible. So it depends on what your situation calls for as to what you might choose. But the deductible can go as high as $320. So in other words, come January, when you're getting prescription drugs, you're going to pay the first up to $320, whatever your deductible is, before the plan starts to pay for anything. So that is on you in the beginning. Now, the next section of Part D is what's called initial coverage. And you can see here, initial level reached when you and the plan spend $29.60. So it's important to understand this. It's not you completely out of pocket, it's the cost that you came out of pocket plus whatever the plan shows that they spent on your prescription drug coverage. And while you're in this period, it's generally going to be a 75-25, meaning the plan is going to pay 75%, you're going to pay 25. Now, something to really understand is when you hit that 29.60, you're going to then launch into the next quadrant, which is known as the donut hole. So you've likely heard of the donut hole before, and the donut hole is where you don't want to be. So take a back step into the initial coverage and understand that it's you and the plan. So why I say this is when you go to CVS or Walgreens, sometimes they have a $4 generic option, they have a $3 generic option. If they have that type of option, do not give them your Medicare card. Simply pay for it out of pocket, because what'll happen is if they have a lower cost option and you provide them your Medicare drug card, then they may get some reimbursement from your Medicare insurer. And that goes towards that $29.60. So where if you did it yourself, it would not. But if you use your drug card, it's going to keep clicking off that $29.60 and sometimes a significant amount, and will launch you into the donut hole much quicker. So again, we don't want to get to the donut hole if we don't have to. So if in fact you and your plan have spent $29.60 in your initial coverage period, you are then in the donut hole. Now you will remain in the donut hole until you spend $4,700. So that's out of pocket on you. Now there are some discounts, and we can kind of thank the Affordable Care Act. So this is actually a place where the Affordable Care Act has helped, and you will save 55% on brand name drugs, and you'll save 35% on generic drugs while you're in the donut hole. So something just to keep in mind. And then once you get to that $4,700 out-of-pocket limit, you're going to launch out of the donut hole and head into what is called catastrophic coverage. So it starts after you have spent $4,700 and will run through December 31st. Now, while you're in the catastrophic coverage, you will spend 5% or $2.65 for generics, $6.60 for brand names, whichever is more. So it's either 5% or $2.65 or $6.60. So that's while you're in the catastrophic coverage. So you can see it's kind of a mess on how it's set up. And then again, come January 1st, it's going to reset, and you're going to go through the entire kind of circus again of drug coverage on Medicare Part D. So again, that's a reason that I don't get involved with it. I'm happy to help you with it, but I'm not going to try and figure everything out for you because it wouldn't be in your best interest. Much better for you to have Medicare do that and calculate what you're currently on. So as you can see, we have this right in the resource center. You can download it. I also have another illustration here that is from the National Counseling on Aging, and there's a bunch of different little illustrations that may resonate with you better than one that I have shown you before. So you can find this in the resource center. If you think you have a great one that you understand, I'd love for you to send it to me, and I'll put it in the resource center if you think it'll help others to understand things like Medicare Part D. So I hope that does help you, and by all means, if there's anything that I can do, just give me a call. I'd be happy to help, and feel free to utilize my resource center. I have videos on just about everything Medicare, and you can also get your quotes for your Medicare supplement insurance right on my website. So thanks for your time, and I hope you have a fantastic day.